Everybody, to Get With The Programming, I'm Chase Ingram.
I'm Captain America.
Why does your camera look like that?
What does it look like?
It's pixelated.
Wolverine.
What does it look like?
I don't know. It's pixelated for some reason.
Oh, was it?
Is Bill's camera look fuzzy, or is it just on my end?
I don't know. You need my glasses?
Hey, everybody. Right off the bat, since we are talking about TFX, how can we watch TFX? That is a great question. I believe you should be able to watch it on their YouTube channel.
Question mark?
You have a YouTube channel?
Ron Burgundy?
I am. I mean, I guess I should know this, but I should also just be told this. This Fittest Experience 2025. Let's see. Fittest Experience. Oh. Who cares about car insurance?
I'm blurry? The heck?
Let me see. Oh, yeah, you're good now.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Just a start. Okay, this is... So I should probably subscribe to that. Okay, there we are. Yeah, it may be on their YouTube channel. They do have a YouTube channel. I'm surprised their YouTube channel is so small. But yeah, my guess is that it's going to be there. Yes. So it will be broadcasted. It will be broadcasted Saturday and Sunday, not on Friday. Why? Because these things cost a shit ton of money, and they did it last minute. They try to figure out the best way they could get it. So you guys are going to get Saturday and Sunday coverage. I'll be there on Friday just to watch and hang out. Obviously, watch the first couple events to get a better idea of how the competition's going into Saturday. Saturday morning, I'm hosting an affiliate gathering on site for the affiliate owners, managers, and coaches that'll be there. It's free, so they can come to attend. I'll be doing that in the morning from 8 to noon. Short, sweet, just get everybody. I want it to be like the post-level 1 beer social.
Wow, just starting off with that? Starting off with the best part?
Minus the beer.
Right.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning. You know, we're not tailgating for a college football playoff game, but coffee, little snacks, hang out. Got partners. Push Press is going to be there, and we're just going to do a bunch of roundtables of driving, just get people together. What does this say? David, afternoon, guys. Long-time watcher, first-time commentator. Okay, commenter. Just wanted to say that because of you guys, like y'all, JR and Taylor, I got the chance to do my L1 online and jumped at it. Best decision ever. That is awesome, David.
Fuck yeah, that is cool.
That is really cool. We got another. We got someone. I think I sent this to you. I think his name is Brian. He watched our pull-up.
Oh yeah.
The CrossFit Journal, and we said is like, hey, if you just, some people like will put a pull-up bar in like a doorway they pass through all day, and when they do it, just like do 5 pull-ups.
I did that when I was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. And he said he's been doing a cumulative 100 strict pull-ups a day. I confirmed this. I was like, do you mean a week? He's like, nope, a day. And just cumulative, right? It's like, hey, 2 here, 5 there throughout the course of him just being awake in his house. And he says his strength has never been greater from pulling, obviously.
Right.
That his shoulder health has also massively improved and has fixed a lot of issues that he's had with his shoulders, all because of that. Now, I don't recommend everybody go out and do 100 strict pull-ups a day. This is more to your tolerances, but...
Well, you definitely have to know what your starting point is. Like, right. If you're like, I don't have any pull-ups and you're going to do 100 pull-ups a day, yeah, you're going to have a hard time.
Maybe do 5. Do more than 0.
Yeah, pick something tough. Dude, we did, I had my baseball kids, my 11 and under group, and we did a hanging workout.
Okay.
This was awesome. So we had 5 rounds. And I had 4 kids in the group this day. It was short. The kids are really weird because they're either doing rec ball, they're doing different sports, or they're on breaks or whatever. But I had 4 kids. And so what I did was I said, okay, we're going to hang on the bar. And the first person that drops has to do 15 burpees.
I like that.
The next person has to do 10. The next person has to do 5. And if you win, you don't have to do any. 1 minute rest in between. And we do it 5 times.
Oh, 5 times.
It was awesome.
Dang.
So like there was this
every time because they hung for a minute and a half and they were like, oh shit, I'm kind of smoked.
Yeah. The first round, the two top kids that were battling for it were like 230.
Oh, wow.
Right.
I guess that makes sense. They're so small.
I mean, they're little dudes, but
Yeah.
and there's a variance. I mean, like one of the kids was probably, I don't know, 70 pounds maybe, and the other kid's like 110. There's a variance in there. But what was great was, okay, maybe you're not the best hanger, but you're still gonna get a workout instead of waiting for all the other kids to do all the work. So while they're battling hanging up there, you're doing burpees.
Yeah.
So the biggest kid couldn't hang, and while all the little kids are up there battling for it and, like, their hands are like they're screaming and kicking and all whatever, he did 75 burpees.
Hey,
Like, right?
great. Sounds like that's not.
He got the workout that he needed, like, out
Yeah.
of that. It was awesome. It was
That's
awesome. It was really fun.
Oh,
So
I gotta start that. I gotta turn that beep off. No, thank you. All right, team. TFX is this weekend. It's in Oklahoma City. It starts tomorrow. They have elite individual men and women. They have elite teams of 4 there. Obviously, they're not qualifying teams to the CrossFit Games, but they will be there on site competing, which honestly, if any of them have qualified for the CrossFit Games, they need to start doing team competitions going into the games. You don't want your first competition with the 3 people you did the online semifinals with to be at the CrossFit Games. So you've got TFX this weekend, Syndicate Crown next weekend. When's NCECs?
the weekend after that.
All right, so you got 3 weeks in a row if you are a games team to get to one of these events. Are there any team stuff at NCs? I know there is at Syndicate.
I don't know. I don't think NCC does it because they do all the divisions. They do like all the
They just have a lot of
masters
divisions, but not teams.
and all the scale divisions and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, masters, age groups,
they don't have room for teams teams.
teams.
Uh,
On site at TFX, they will have teams. They will have an RX division. They'll have an RX division for individuals and I'm not sure if they have masters, but they've got a lot of other things going on than just the elite side. And like I said, the coverage will start on Saturday morning with the teams. That'll be covered. And then the individual competition will be interspliced with that. On Sunday, I'm not sure this is going to happen, but this is what I've actually talked to Jeremy Teal with, is that they want to cover the RX individual division because a big part of the Invitational, we talked to Jeremy about this when we had him on the show, is that the TFX Invitational is actually basically managed and born out of the Fittest Experience. And the Fittest Experience came from what was previously called the Fittest Games. And the reason why this all started is that Jeremy and his family, Carrie, all those guys, went to the games in 2007. And then they wanted to recreate their own version of that in Austin, Texas, where CrossFit Central is. And they called it the Fittest Games. And then they wanted to create a competition that gave people the Fittest Experience, that's why it's called what it's called, is to give every division that they have there on site, from teen to masters, they've got kids divisions, pairs, whatever, all across the sun, a great elite competition experience. That's why it's named that way. Now, 17 years later, which is how long they've been running this competition, they get to send people to the CrossFit Games again.
I know, it's so cool.
It's really cool. So on Sunday, I think it'll be me, Jeremy, and Bryce Collier in a more laid-back podcast level coverage of the RX division, just like shooting the shit the whole time, just to give those guys some love.
I think it's awesome.
It'll be really cool.
I mean, we've done that. We've done that when we did when it was old Wadapalooza, where we would do all the different divisions and stuff like that. So we kind of like splice into all that. And one, I mean, it does give some new people some airtime. But the other thing, what I think is really important is how many times have we been hit up where afterwards where they're like, you have no idea how cool it is for you guys, the people that actually broadcast the best of the best. You're saying my name.
Yeah.
You're calling me out. Like that invigorates a lot of people, which is really cool.
You got that a lot I know you got that a lot at Masters calls, then the adaptive that you guys called, you and Jeremy called last year. And that's cool to hear. It's not something I'd ever think about.
Not for me, but I think it really lights a fire for them. I mean, like that's And you get to have the voices calling your name out. That's
Mhm.
really cool. And your friends and family get to hear that. That's
Very
awesome.
cool. Yeah, it is very cool. All right, let's get to the events. Like I said, everything will be kicking off on Friday, so that will be tomorrow. The events, oh, son of a gun. The events that you're not going to see. Oh, every time. All right. The events that you're not going to see unless you're there live, which, hey, buy a ticket. It's Friday. 10-5. So this is 4-time, 100 wall ball buy-in, which we saw at the French Throwdown. 20 and 14 pound to a 10 and 9-foot target. Damn it. Which is funny because then you come back around and they actually corrected the issues that I have with weighted balls and target heights. 50 toes to bar, 50 calorie row, and then 50 dual box step overs at 50 and 35s, all at a 20-inch box. All right, you got that.
Great job.
Yeah.
Great job.
Good job. That one is more impactful anyways than a 9-foot wall ball target versus a 10.
Yeah.
Still, that being said, just make them. They're the elites. If you want to do RX to 9 feet, all right, whatever. I still don't agree with it.
No.
And then basically you cut all that work in half. So in this event, you have a full Karen, 150 wall ball shots, 75 toes to bar, 75 cal row, and then 75 box step overs. Ugh. This is in the reality is people are gushing over JR's programming, which I feel like is a product of his programming, which I enjoy, and also a product of people just, jumping on the gushing over anything from the Savan era sphere people do. And then you look at this, you're like, okay, they're like, oh, the hundreds workout. We're so glad the volume workout's back. It's like, okay, well, here it is here. Are they not going to get the same feedback? Right. And appreciating it's like, yeah, it's 150 wall ball shots. It's wall balls, guys. It's not that hard. And you're going to break it all up anyways. You should. Toes to bar, cal row, and box step overs. Now, do I want box step overs and wall ball shots in the same workout at that volume? Okay. Probably not. I would have picked maybe, I don't know, would you pick something with maybe like a press? Shoot, just like burpee box jump overs instead of box step overs?
Maybe
not.
I think those are drastically different deals.
Maybe not.
You know what you could have done?
What?
Why not do 50 dumbbell shouldered overhead?
Yeah.
Or like 50 push presses.
Well, you got the wall ball shots. That's what I was saying, maybe a snatch.
Oh, well, I thought you were okay. Yeah, a dumbbell snatch.
I'm only looking at the box step overs.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking legs. I wasn't like I don't really there's the push in the wall balls, but I see that more as a squat hip opening. I mean, the shoulders are there, but whatever. But I could see a dumbbell snatch.
Mm-hmm. But this is just a high volume, long test that you're going to have to figure out how to navigate with the volume. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of legs. Yeah. There's a lot of legs. Sarah Cooper. You guys should do a semifinal wrap-up show when it's all done. Build your idea comp choosing all the semifinal workouts. We'll do one of those.
There's a lot of ideas that we have coming from all of the semifinals.
We're going to do one of those. We're going to do a semifinal ranking system, basically after we judge everything, which, is like, oh, we'll just look at the numbers you gave. Yeah, but we'll do a show on it. And then look at the results qualifiers from each ones.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff coming post, but that's good. All right, Heavy Isabel.
Cool.
Yep. Awesome. I can't wait to never see this again. And it's not TFX's fault. This is like every semifinal is doing it. It's the one event they're all doing.
Okay, that statement that you just made right there is the one statement that everyone that is against standardized programming says.
Okay, so here is my pushback on that, because I agree with that outwardly sound, is that the reason why I'm tired of it is because the same people are doing it.
Meaning?
So, for example, I would like to see the Torium Pro and only their athletes take on Heavy Isabel, not the same top 2 or 3 people do it for the 3rd or 4th time. They're all traveling to these different events. That's the difference maker here. It's not I'm tired of this event, but it's like, all right, if I was an athlete, I would be tired of this event. I mean, there's some athletes that are going to be doing this 3 to 5 times just to try to get to the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, though I agree with the statement that I said against standardized pro. It's like, well, it's the same events, it's the same thing when you go over it. No. It's because you're seeing the same people do the same events. That's what I'm getting tired of. Yes, it's not the same group every time, but listen, the same 3 to 5 elite athletes that are traveling around to try to make the games are still going to be the same 3 to 5 people if they do or don't get there. You're still going to have a field of 25 who aren't going to matter, and it's just going to be 3 to 5. That's the way this system is right now. I still like Heavy Isabel, so I'm not shitting on the event at all.
No, well, and I don't. I guess I don't agree with that as much. I hear what you're saying, and I know. I mean, I think we have an athlete at Syndicate that's going to be doing his 4th shot at this.
Right.
But that's the nature of the system rather than the event
I get it.
itself. You know,
I
like what the event is. I think it's good. I think it's cool that everyone's doing. Actually, I'm more happy that everyone is doing it.
I love
all the different divisions.
I love the event. I'm glad. I'm glad everybody's doing it. I'm just as tired as the athletes are of the same people doing the same thing.
And Barkley, if you don't like seeing Luke Parker do it 3 more times, then guess what? Luke Parker just has to make it in.
Well, Luke Parker doesn't need to travel to France to not make the CrossFit Games.
Well, I'm just saying.
All right. Now, this is the first event on Saturday. So this is when you guys will get to see the coverage here. And it's a 2-part event. And I do believe it's a 2-scored event. It's called Devil Dog 1.0 and 2.0. So 1.0 is 6 and 4 legless rope climbs, 12 shoulder to overhead at 205 and 135. And then 3-2, basically kind of the same format of the first event. You got 6 and 12 and then 3 and 6, right? Half on the second half. A little sprint chipper. Now, I like the push-pull, the legless into the shoulder overhead at the weights. I'm going to wait on the weights. I know 205, we'd probably think 145 as being a more appropriate weight. But just like the games in 2020 where they had the the chipper, gosh darn it, the first event of the CrossFit Games. What is that called? The first one ever.
The first
one. 2007. The row.
Oh, yeah. The row, the chest bar pull-ups, and the shoulder overhead.
I don't even think that has a name.
It didn't have a name. Well, it's 2007 is what they called it. The next.
Yeah. Okay. So 2007, and then they did it again in 2013.
Yeah.
And then, but they didn't change it at all. But then they did it again in 2020 at the ranch, and they had a longer row, bar muscle-ups, and heavier weight. And the weights between the men and the women were like, I feel like the women can handle this, but it actually ended up being perfect. Oh, the hopper. Thank you, Barkley. See, this is why Barkley's not on the payroll. No, not a minute 45. Come on. Yeah. So we'll see on the weights. 5-minute cap. That seems tight.
I think so. 9 legless rope climbs with all of that heavy stuff.
Yes. Oh, see, Barkley? Barkley's already got, someone asked for Jeopardy back. I was like, yeah, well, these are some good questions. 5 minutes aside. It's a lot like, I know we'll go over syndicate events next week, but JR's finale with the 9-minute time cap.
Oh,
it's so tight. Yeah, you know why? Because he's going to force you guys to go faster than you want to. That's why.
Yep.
We talk about it all the time. Like Dave would program an event, but he'd make the time cap to dictate the intensity of the event. And that's what JR did, which I like. Okay, 3-minute rest. And then part 2 is 4 rounds for time, 3 regular rope climbs, and then 20, 15, 10, 5 of thrusters. So 3 rope climbs, 20 thrusters at 115 and 75. 3, 15, 3, 10, 3, 5. Which is a round version of Tommy V,
Right.
basically.
Right.
Now, coming off of 9 legless or 6 legless
into 12 regular.
Yeah. Now, those thrusters are going to feel great because you just did shoulder overhead at 205 or 135. So the thrust is going to be wonderful. But I don't mind that. I'm just curious the compound effect, which is part of the programming. I think that whole part 2 is you have to go unbroken.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It's just a race, which I like it better than 30, 25, 20, 15. You're like, all right, now how do I manage? It's like, nope, go. Both of them, you have to go.
It's funny how we were talking yesterday about the French throwdown, how there wasn't any gymnastic pulling.
Mm-hmm.
And then right here, I mean, that's a shit ton of rope climbs.
Yes. You know what?
Lot.
If they had, it's funny is we're like, all right, event 2 of the French throwdown, we're like, please just never program this again.
Yeah.
If they put this in it, I think that fills both of our holes that we didn't like at French. You got an upper body pulling test and thrusters.
Well, it would add a lot to that. The shoulder to overhead, the pressing though. There was a lot of pressing in French.
Yeah, I mean it's only 18.
But yeah, well, it's fucking heavy.
True, it is heavy.
I'm not that I don't like. I like that. I like it. But yeah, that would have fixed a lot.
Judy Herrero.
Judy. Herrero.
All right. I'm just testing our friendship right there. our online only friendship. All right, Cyclone. This will be the second event Saturday night. 2 minutes on, 1 minute off, 7 sets, 40 fat rope singles. And if anybody's like, what's a fat rope? It's basically a rope, like a climbing rope.
Yeah.
And you just do single unders in it, which is, we say every event has their little thing, maybe a piece of equipment that they use. I feel like the fat rope, the jumping climbing rope. Hello, Chase and Beer.
Hello, Chase and Beer.
Judy, you're awesome.
That was good.
You're awesome. The climbing rope, jump rope thing is a staple at TFX.
Yeah.
7 burpee box get overs at 44 inches, and then max calories on the Echo bike in the time remaining. I feel like that's not a lot of time.
No, dude.
Which even. Is for 7 rounds. I feel like okay. I mean, 40 singles, you can't do those fast. That's the other thing. You can't spin it. You just have to sit there and not mess up. Right? It's a very slow movement. And then 7 box get overs at 44 inches. I mean, that's not terribly high.
Yeah, but you can only really go so fast with that, though.
So fast. So it's more of this, don't mess up, which okay. Right? The 40 singles aren't going to, and they're not they're heavy single unders or heavy double unders. Heavy double unders take away physically, right? 40 fat rope singles don't.
Right. You're just kind of whipping it with the forearm. Right? Yeah.
It's an execution thing, which, okay, fine.
Yeah.
7 burpee box get overs. All right, how fast can I do this? And manage my movement patterns and get through. And then you get on that bike and it's just good luck.
So what do you think? 45 seconds of work of actual, where you're going to be getting calories done?
Yeah. 40 fat rope singles is going to take
45 seconds, 40 seconds.
I don't think it's a second a rep.
I mean, you can't whip
that. I would
say maximum 30 seconds.
I was going to say, generous. Let's say 30. Burpee box get overs at 44 inches.
I mean, if it
Under
was
30?
it'd be probably
I think
30.
45 seconds. Yeah.
Okay, so you got 45 seconds of working time, which leaves you about 45 seconds of, well, because you had 2 minutes. Yeah, you'll have about 45 seconds of actual
That's a lot on an
echo
echo bike.
yeah.
That's a lot.
But you have to remember, okay, so it's 7 rounds. This is I think
Right,
the
they
part that's
can
really gonna kill
extend it.
people is 7 rounds.
Question, Bill. Do you, with it being 7 rounds, do you play?
Yes, yes, you
Patrick,
do.
way to lean into it. Did you see Patrick around the whiteboard yesterday? It was hilarious. Is this syndicate programming? Yes, that was great. Good job. Well done, Patrick. That was funny. Way to take it in stride. So do you play the game? Do you barber this? Because I got to see if there's a minimum work requirement. Because on the online semifinals for individuals for event 4, which was the shuttle runs, clean and jerks, and burpees over the bar, you had to get a minimum of 1 burpee.
Right.
Now, that being said, the buy-in to get to the burpees was real tight and real shitty. Shuttle runs had to be fast, clean and jerks had to be touch and go, and they were only getting 30 seconds.
So
here, the rope's not going to really hurt you.
The rope will stay the same the whole time.
The burpee box jump overs are steady.
Yep.
You can't really push the pace there. So do you say round 1, because it's going to be an odd number, right? Round 1, you just
135.7, you
hammer. And then round 2, you just get some extra.
You know what I would do on the even ones? To flush out some lactic acid, 1. Also, like, you know how you can rev up the first 10 seconds, you just hammer really hard and you just kind of ride it out. Do that, kind of ramp it up, so you are getting calories. You're not going to get as many as you would as if you went all the way to the buzzer, but you hammer it out, flush that lactic acid, and just let it kind of roll after that. I bet you still would have. I think you would be able to go really, really, really hard on the odd numbers.
Yeah,
I think that the gaming element will be huge.
I do too, because it's 7. If it was 5, my answer would be no.
Right.
You have to maximize every single round you get, but with 7,
yeah,
people can make some poor choices early on, thinking they're pacing it out and just blow up.
Yep.
Also, because the buy-in is not that bad on the body, right? If this was, say, 50 heavy double unders, and then, I don't know, like a sandbag cleans for 10, something terrible. You're like, nope, that sucks. This, I mean, really, the buy-in is a nice little.
You're just totally cruising, and I think you can really only go so fast. You're not gonna be able to race anybody, I don't think, on the buy-in. So all it is staying. It's staying as relaxed as possible, so you can hammer the last 45 seconds. But and everyone will feel good on the first one. You'll get a lot of people that'll come out super hard on the second one, even the third, and all of a sudden that will start to drop. That will start to drop drastically.
Yeah.
And then that's when you'll have someone that takes 1 off, trying to hold on to the last one, kind of a thing. Yeah. I think if you planned on doing 135 all out, I mean, if you're in shape, you should be able to recover enough on that to where it's okay, then on 2, 4, and 6, you go hard for 10, 15 seconds and then ride it out, because then that gives you a minute and a half to rest.
Yeah.
But you still have calories counting.
True. All right. So this is the next question, and this can be a programming discussion later. Well, we'll have to see how it unfolds. Maybe that's not the game plan. But this is where the question is, would it be better if you had an end goal number of cows?
Yes, because then it forces people to go. And as much as in the first event where it's a relatively high volume, and it's okay, all the athletes now have to decide how they're going to win this race based on their how they want to break it up, what they want to do pacing wise, that sort of thing. If there's a finish line at this, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I have to ride the lightning, and I got to ride as close to the sun as I can to get to it as fast as possible without imploding.
Right.
And that, like, no, going for a max cal, you don't know where that line is. You're just kind of like shooting off into the ether somewhere. You know what I mean? But if you know what you need to hit, then it's like, okay, I'm whatever 20 away. Can I get it on this next one?
Yeah.
And if I don't get it, it's like, oh, so close. Then it's like, yeah, I have to go through a whole nother round. Like, so there's that anxiety element that starts to play into it. And I think it will really push people to go harder. Like if I say open up on 1-3-5-7, okay, but what does that mean? Okay, pick a number and try to hold it.
Yeah.
But you're not really chasing it. When you chase something, you will always go harder.
Right.
So it would be a different race if that was the case, I think.
Like if you had 45 seconds in the Echo Bike and if you were biking hard, and hard being 600 plus watts,
Yeah.
which would yield 30 cals in a minute with ramp up time. So let's just say 30 cals in a minute at 600. So you're getting 20.
Right.
It's not a terrible amount of cals. Now, if you get on there and you do 800 cal, like 800's now you're cranking it. And you would get 40 cals in a minute. So divide that. So 30 cals.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get back on the bike for the second round. So say if you're averaging 20 plus. All right. So maybe at 30 cals there by going 845 seconds. Oof, that's a lot.
I know, man. Serious.
That's a lot. But that's also like, that's a beat down. We'll see. Okay. Confirmed. It will be on TFX's YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
So subscribe to the YouTube channel, everyone. I put it in the chat. Avera Chase, I think you're underestimating the toll fat ropes. I'm not saying it's like worthless, but it's not that bad. And yes, I've done competitions TFX with them in it, and it's fine. It's not that bad. All right. Day 3, the OKC Ringer. 3 rounds for time, 15 sandbag squats, 30 foot unbroken handstand walks. Round 1, you'll do 15 ring muscle ups. So 15 squats, 30 foot unbroken handstand walk, 15 ring muscle ups. Round 2, 15 squats, 30 foot unbroken handstand walk, 30 chest to bar pull-ups. Round 3, 15 sandbag squats, 30 unbroken handstand walk, 45 pull-ups, chin over bar, and then finish. Or maybe is there a 30-foot handstand walk? Oh, it might be a 30-foot. Sorry, I screwed that up. There's a 30-foot handstand walk.
After each one.
Or and after each round.
Yeah.
Hello, Heidi. Thank you for being here. Jason Bourne's here. Everybody get your stuff together, or he's going to come after you. Sandbag squats at 150 and 100. I actually got to do sandbag squats at this weight on yesterday.
How was that?
It was great because, I mean, you know that I've been having knee problems.
Yeah.
And it hurt a lot in the first 10 minutes. And then the next 10 minutes, I did this 30-minute AMRAP. It was more of like, it doesn't hurt, but it almost feels like it's going to hurt. And now I just have this like mental problem with it. And then the last 10 minutes, I was kind of squatting normally. And it felt great.
Wow.
Yeah. It felt great to squat. Now, Beck asks a very important question. What's the standard going to be? It better be on top of the shoulders, not in the front. Right? Not in the front. But that being said, I really like the way what normal programs would do is flip the script on the descending round rep skill thing. Right? Because normally, I don't want to say normally, but if this were to come in, it'd be like, all right, round 1,
easy.
it's 45 pull-ups.
Yeah.
Round 2, 30 chest to bar. Round 3, 15 ring muscle-ups, right? Descending reps, increasing skill. Here, it's hits you with the muscle-ups early, then the chest to bars, and then the 45 pull-ups at the end with the bags and the holding and the walks. I like the change of pace here. I like this workout, honestly.
I like the workout. I think it looks pretty fun. I think going the direction that you're talking about is that it will force you to go deeper into those gymnastics to try to get them as unbroken as possible.
I mean, you have
because
to
you can
unbroken.
Because you can.
You have to do all of this unbroken.
Right. I mean, if it was flipped the other way around, then you're worried about fatigue playing in.
Right.
The thing is, all these athletes can do 45 regular chin over bar pull-ups.
Mm-hmm.
All of them can do 30 chest to bar pull-ups. Most of them, the ones that should be going to the games, will be able to do the ring muscle-ups. But now if you do it where they're not completely fatigued with it, now they get to race that at unbroken.
Yes.
And so, again, it puts everyone right to that line of you need to do, I mean, it's actually really cool. You have to do every piece unbroken.
Yes.
Unbroken handstand walks, unbroken on your gymnastic pulling. And actually, here's more gymnastic pulling, too.
True. We had it in...
And squatting.
Right. Well, I know Hiller did a video when these first came out about the volume of squatting.
Yeah.
Which, we'll get there. Not today.
Well, and again...
Here, 15 at 150 is nothing.
Right.
Let's be real honest with ourselves for a second. It's 150 pounds. It's only 15, and they have a handstand walk, a bunch of pulling, and a handstand walk break between they have to get the bag again. And hopefully it's on the shoulders just for range of motion, clarity, and ease for the judges and the athletes.
Right.
But if they made them hold it in the front,
well,
that would be horrible.
That would be bad.
And the squatting would matter even less.
Right. Yeah, I want this. I like this event. I like this event a lot. I think that it is, and especially after talking about it yesterday with French, it's like, okay, what did these athletes, if we're talking about testing the athletes and qualifying them to get to the games, what did they get out of the open and what are they getting out of here to make it to the games, to be sure that, okay, whatever comes up, you guys are going to be, our qualifiers are going to be ready for the games.
Yep.
And I mean, shit, all the rope climbs, all these.
The rope climbs, yes. The volume here is still 15 muscle ups, 30 chest bar pulls.
I'm not saying too much. I'm saying that I like seeing it because we didn't see it at the last event.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Barry, who programmed TFX? I believe it's Bryce Collier. He'll be on the broadcast on Sunday with me and Jeremy. And I'll just ask him. I'll ask him about all this stuff. I do like this one, though. I like the squat. I like the hold. I like the handstand walk element. I like the ascending rep, descending skill with the pulling and the final handstand walk. And if they do this correctly at the intensity that we should, that last set of pull-ups isn't necessarily a foregone conclusion of unbroken. And that last handstand walk is who trusts themselves the most to hop off that rig and right into that handstand walk.
Yeah.
Because by then it's 180 feet. That's not terrible.
In this particular event, none of the volume is terrible.
No.
And I think that's what's good. That's where it allows them to race, because you're not going to win by attrition. But I also don't think that this is purely execution.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? So I like the fact that it's a raceable event with raceable items and weights and movements.
And I think the intensity, because of the necessary race that you're talking about, is going to make this much more difficult.
Right.
Even though all of these things might seem small. I'm not saying trust me, Jason. I'm just I like it. I do. Again, we'll analyze all this later. All right, final event. 4-time 550-meter run. You're like, why that? It's like, probably because of the run course they have at the venue. straight into a clean ladder. So some people were like, how are they going to get this all done in a 6-minute cap? Because it's just a one run, which at first blush, I like, because if this was run 4, run 3, run 2, like we saw at the CrossFit Games in 2021,
Yeah.
nobody's running fast on the heavy bars because it came to the barbell. Right? So you hit the run and then you run up to a barbell that is only 225 pounds and you touch and go 4 reps. Why? Because you have to. And then you move to a barbell that's 275 for 3. The strong athletes who probably were slower on the run can do this and have to do this, where the faster runners that might not be the strongest athletes are like, I hope I can do singles here. And then you got 2 cleans at 315 at the end. And I don't think there's any squat mandated.
No.
Which anybody worth their salt trying to go to the CrossFit Games are not squatting this. The women, 155, 185, 215. Yes, it's not 3 rounds of 550. It's just a 550 buy-in, which is enough distance to give yourself some time. Because if everybody can hit the weights, the run's going to matter more. You can give yourself 5 to 7 seconds of leeway, right? You're not going to get caught at 225. You'll probably get caught at 275, and then it's on. Did the person chasing you down through the last 7 reps on the bar do too much to affect their clean? Because we've seen a lot of guys who are way stronger than this miss a clean at this weight because of the intensity of the event. This is the final. What are you thinking?
I agree with what you're saying, that you could separate yourself 5 seconds on the run, especially if you need it for the strength piece.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that there will be it's a weird number, because it's like for CrossFitters, probably this is like the 800 for like good runners, where like 800 is the worst sprint because it's too damn long and it's too damn short, sort of a thing. It's too long to have to go as fast as you want to go, but
Right.
it's too short to get into like a pace. So I don't know. I don't really know. I can't see there being more than, I don't know, 8 seconds of time between the field really on the run. But that's an important 8 seconds when you come to the barbell, because it's like you said, if I think everyone will go touch and go at 225.
Yes.
Everyone will want to go unbroken at 275.
I like how you said that.
Yeah. And that's where it'll be. I think that will be the first gamble. Because the thing is, if you miss, you have to, at that point, you'll have to think, okay, if I can do it, if I know that I can do it, I have to do it. If I'm not sure, because if you miss it, you're done. You went from in the running to fully out of the running. Even more than the people that are having to go singles, because at least it's singles, you can keep yourself on. But the mental fatigue of, I tried to hit it, I failed it, and now
you fail a rep, it's over. It's
that's what I mean. It's done. So that gamble, I think that gamble will be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And to know that it really comes down to 2 lifts. I mean, all of the shuffling in the end to the seconds of rest time between getting to 315, hitting 315, deciding how fast you need to go into the next 315.
Yeah.
And I think that will be, it is weird having a running event as the final, but I mean, we know that will be, again, kind of like the buildup for these lifts.
Right.
And it'll be interesting to see how that's handled.
Wasn't the sprint in the, not to bring back the 21 games, wasn't it a 550 meter sprint?
Yeah. Ish.
Ish. Right. Ish.
Yeah.
But just the one off.
Right. But even with that, like
2021. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, there wasn't a big time gap between those athletes.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that if you try to fail, or if you try to pace the run, now there can be time that you need.
Kipping. I failed a rep back in 22 and then I retired. I'm curious to see how this one plays out.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking it out loud, the possibilities, what could happen. I think there's more gameplay in here than people think.
Yeah, a lot.
Because, I mean, think of two athletes that are on. Well, let me look at a competitor list. Who's needing to qualify out of this that has a shot? Cindy Michelishin's here. Emily Rethwell, but she was just at an event this weekend. Trista Smith is going to be here. Hannah Black. I mean, there's a couple events in here that really line up well for Hannah.
Yeah.
Heavy Isabel, obviously. This one. The power output one on the bike. Mm-hmm. Kerstetter is here.
Oh, see, she'll do good on the run. She'll do decent on the run too.
Here's the thing, though. Kerstetter did online semifinals and just went to the WPF. And now this is her third weekend in a row. And she was just in and is now out of the running for semifinals. She got penalized. So she went, and think about that mindset as an athlete. You made the games essentially thinking you were good to go. And then after you competed your ass off this weekend with a lot of heavy programming,
right, lost
your spot on the return trip home. Now, Rebecca does not have a chance this weekend. It's too much weight. And now you've got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps after getting after competing your third weekend in a row. Now, these line up decently for her skill set, save for the legless rope climb one. Here's the thing. If she was fresh, Olivia's winning this. She's winning this. If she was fresh.
She is young, dude.
She is young. That's true.
I mean, the recovery time for her age.
True.
Compared to other athletes.
19. I think that's really it. Caitlin, is it Bernardin or Bernardin?
Bernardin.
I mean, she was she did 2 events in the online semifinal, which she needs to be removed from the leaderboard for that.
Right.
So you have Caitlin Bernardin, Rebecca Fuselier, Allison Scud.
She won't do. Caitlin won't with the gymnastics. She won't handle that.
Okay. Cindy Michelishin, she might. I mean, she's fit. Cindy just seems to just be. What is that old Sherwood clip about how he would describe Val Voberl?
The great
Camry or something like that. Yeah. She's just good, right down the middle.
And maybe doesn't win anything. As always finishes everything 5th. Mm-hmm. So you never see her
this year. I just think she's too small for all the barbell work. Hannah Black might have a shot here. Men's side, Sprague was supposed to be here. He's not competing anymore. Nick Matthew. I mean, no, there's not a lot of endurance here, except for the first event. He's got 2 events that he'd be Isabel and this one.
Right. But even
the shoulder overhead.
Yeah, but with the gymnastics stuff, with all the pulling, that's not.
I don't think it's enough to throw him off.
I think with the other guys that are there.
Mike Evans, Philip Muscarella's here. Trying to think of anybody else that's just jumping off.
Feels strong, and he's got a great engine.
I mean, Bill Leahy.
Yeah.
Chris Ibarra. I bet Ibarra just competed this past weekend.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Trayvon Benton. Is it Trayvon or Travon?
Trayvon.
Wasn't it I thought it was Trayvon, but then I heard it said a different way. I don't know.
Trayvon.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm curious to see how it goes. Obviously, we will analyze the programming post the competition, since that's what we always do.
Are we previewing Syndicate before we analyze this?
When do you leave for?
I actually leave Thursday.
You leave Thursday?
Yeah.
So let's do a preview on Monday, since the preview is a little bit easier to do than.
Yeah.
And then we'll analyze this on Wednesday.
Yeah, that works. I'll see if we can bring John on too.
Oh yeah.
See if we can get him in.
Yeah, let's see that. Let's see if we get JR on. He's the one that programmed the damn thing.
That is true. That is true. We're gonna have him on. It'll be fun. He doesn't really like to get on for that kind of stuff, but he said that he would get on our stream whenever we wanted him when we were broadcasting. So that'll be fun to pull him.
I think he'd be more comfortable.
Oh, dude.
Actually, I think he'd be more comfortable analyzing it, and he'd be way more critical than we would be.
100%. But when he
like,
was,
JR, this is a 0.1. I would have liked this. He's like, now 1.0. Fuck this. Well, it's your programming.
It was really fun watching him describe all the workouts to like all the Syndicate crew. We've known him a while now, and we'll talk, programming and nerd out on stuff all the time. Dude, he got so giddy explaining the hows, and I wanted this one, and we were looking for this, and I came across these things, and we wanted to do these, and like he was in his own little world.
Yeah, man.
With like butterflies and rainbows, and it was so fun to watch him explain everything. It was awesome.
Yeah, and it's a big deal. I mean, you get to program a semifinal, you get to send people to the CrossFit Games, and you get Rogue to pretty much give you most of everything that you dreamed of.
Yeah.
When you made your programming, save for a couple changes here and there, but nobody cares. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It's going to be good. I'm excited to watch it for sure.
Yeah.
All right, team. Make sure you guys go to the Fittest Experience YouTube channel. That's where everything will be broadcasted live Saturday and Sunday. And show up if you guys are on site. I'll be there Saturday morning doing a little affiliate gathering. Excited to see all you people there in person. I'll be there Friday sometime, just walking around, hanging out. Obviously, we'll have some meetings there all the way through the weekend. So really appreciate to be a part of that event. Obviously, TFX has been a big part of basically my CrossFit journey for a long time. And it's cool to be on this side of it. It's funny. It's like,
that is cool.
I watched people do this when I first started CrossFit, and then I competed in it when I was competing in CrossFit, and then I had athletes that competed in it when I couldn't compete in it anymore in CrossFit, and now I'm broadcasting it. It's been a really cool journey. So it's cool to see that in action. So we'll see you guys this weekend. Good luck to all the athletes that will be competing at TFX. We'll see you guys on YouTube. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Take care.